Well, hey there, troop transporter. How's your day? I understand that it's been a crazy weekend. Black Friday and all that. No good deals for you? So what's on your mind today? You do have a compartment back there. But you're right. It doesn't hold many droids. But it's a droid compartment. Why is that back there? I mean, why a droid compartment? You didn't come with a droid. Wait, you were gonna come with a droid? One that was never released in the Kenner action figure line? They even made a prototype of it? And they took photos with it? Whoa. You've got to tell me more about this unreleased droid that was going to come with the troop transporter. Well, welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman. I'm coming back at you with another video. 2 videos in one day. I hope I uploaded another video all about the Kenner Star Wars blueprints. I uploaded it almost 2 hours ago. And check this out. It's still processing on YouTube. What's the deal, YouTube? What's taking so long? It's not even that long of a video. I don't know, delete it and start all over? Or what's going on? Let me move that camera back to where I like it. I don't know what's going on with it, so hopefully you'll get to see that video before this one is planned. If not, maybe this one will upload. Who knows? It's YouTube, right? I'm backing up all my videos on minds.com and BitChute. People told me that's an alternative to YouTube, but I get like 1 view, and that's for me checking to see if the video uploaded right. YouTube's got a monopoly. We'll have to face it. But anyway, we're not here to complain about YouTube for once. We're here to talk about this, the Imperial Troop Transporter. Anybody who saw the movie Star Wars probably don't remember this because it wasn't in the film. There's some foolish adult outside cutting grass. I hope you can't hear his lawnmower. Don't know why anyone would spend their weekend outside cutting grass when you could talk about the Imperial Troop Transporter by Kenner. But let's talk about it because it was going to come with an exclusive figure, but it never did. Let's look at the Imperial Troop Transporter now. I'll hold it up so you can get a better view of it. On the front, the compartment doors to hold the figures and the drivers, and on the back is where you lined your prisoners, or for most people, your troopers. It came with a little mask, which sadly I don't have, put over their head, and it came with buttons right here that would play a tiny plastic record inside where you could hear sounds from the movie. Now I think I did a whole video on this thing, so I'm not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about the planned action figure that was going to come with it. Let's see if I can get this door to close back. This door never really closes good at all. So when you notice something on the back of this, you notice something a little interesting. This door panel right here. What is this? Well, according to the box, it is a droid compartment, where I guess you would put your prisoner droids, being it as a prisoner ship. So you put your prisoners here on the side, and droids. But let's take a look inside. As you can see, there is an R2-D2 inside hidden away. Now, as a droid compartment, it doesn't really hold droids that good. 3PO is a droid, and he has to sit down. Even if you put R5-D4 into the droid compartment, let's take a look at how that goes. And yes, this is my original R5-D4, and that's why it looks so yucky. Let's close the door. Even you'll see here that R5 has a hard time standing up as he's taller than R2-D2. Well, actually makes him more snug, but he's really have to force him in there. I guess you could have him in sitting position like this, but as you can see, for a droid compartment, it really doesn't hold much droids. So what's the deal with this? R2 does fit perfectly into the compartment, so was it designed for R2-D2 or just droids? Well, in fact, this compartment was designed for an exclusive figure that was going to come with the Imperial Troop Transporter that was going to be the same size as R2-D2. Actually, it was going to be the same mold as R2-D2 with painted black, an Imperial R2 unit was going to come in the troop transporter. That's why it has the opening back right here. So the figure would go into it like that. You would close it, play with it, get your prisoners, open up the flap, and bring out the black Imperial R2 unit. Let's take a look at that R2 unit because a prototype was made. The mock-up figure that Kenner did made, of course, was a painted R5, painted black. Here's some look at the early concept, where you'll see that the troop transporter looks a lot different than first planned, and you'll see in the photos taken by Kenner, the mock-up black R2 unit. Let's take a look. And here's the mock-up. As you can see, it still has the prisoner's bay with the troopers inside, and Han Solo is one of the prisoners. Also notice, if you look closely, where the battery would go instead of the actual release. Also, you might notice that some of these parts was used for the X-Wing fighter. But if you notice something in the corner of the picture, there it is, the black Imperial R2 droid that would have came with the troop transporter. And as you can see here on the early mock-up of the troop transporter, we have an opening bay for the droid to sit in. To be honest with you, this design looks more like something from Battlestar Galactica, but I think I kind of might like the look of it better than the released troop transporter. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Junkman, that's an early concept. That doesn't mean that the compartment here was going to be for the droid. Well, I guess we don't have any hard information, but we do know that, according to the box, this is called a droid compartment. And it seems likely that some of the plans was to keep this, but it seems like the plan was to always keep this droid compartment there for the intended figure. Why was this figure never packed with the Imperial troop transporter? Well, there's no official information about that, but we can look at two things. One popular decision is that Lucasfilm wouldn't agree to it, being there was no Imperial black R2 unit in Star Wars. But there is one on the Death Star, so you have to throw that theory out. And also, this wasn't in the movie at all either. So to make a droid with it? So how can you say you can't make a droid with the ship that wasn't in the movie because the droid wasn't in the movie? That theory doesn't hold water. The most likely theory is one that we always come back to: money. Keeping the cost down. You're already looking at a risky release, being it wasn't in the film. And you had something that talked. Push the button, again it would play a little plastic record so you could hear sounds from the film or laser bolt sounds. That little feature right there was going to jack the price up in production for the troop transporter. Adding a figure to this would even cost more. So to keep the cost down, it's most likely that's why we didn't get an Imperial R2 unit to come along with the Imperial troops transporter. Would have been nice if we did. Hey, let me add this because I forgot to add it. I'm forgetting a lot of stuff today. The early concept of the Imperial troop transporter seen in the photos, along with the concept R2 unit, had never been found. It's lost in time, or it's in some old Kenner employee's basement. Maybe one day it will turn up, but until then, it's lost with history. Damn sad. Now back to the video. Overall, the Imperial troop transporter is pretty fun, especially being released with some of the first figures. We had the land speeder, but we really didn't have any other land vehicles. Every other vehicle released was ships, so it was nice to have this thing to chase after your land speeder. Coming with the black droid would have been a nice plus, but it would have been nothing, I don't think, to make kids rush out to buy it. The look of the vehicle, the fact that it could talk, and that it rolled around like the land speeder, I think that was enough to sell the toy to kids without adding the Imperial R2 unit that you barely see in the film. But I thought some of you might like to check out this droid and might not know that Kenner was about to release an Imperial droid with the troop transporter. So what do you think about this troop transporter? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think of it coming with a black Imperial R2 unit? Would you have liked that? Let's get back in your compartment, R2. There we go. We'll put the prisoner back in the side. So again, let me know in the comments what you think about this Imperial R2 unit that almost got released. Would you have liked the toy more if it did come with that? Looking back now as an adult and a fan of the old stuff, have been kind of cool to have. But again, as a child, back in '78, I don't know if it would have changed the matters of buying this thing or not. And believe it or not, this thing sold quite well. There's a lot of them to be found, especially for a toy that was only released early in the line. It wasn't one that carried over to each film, like the TIE Fighter and the Falcon and some of the other ships. This was in a Star Wars box and very limited in the Empire Strikes Back box where the sound was removed. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Let's see if my video is through processing yet. So, if you hadn't seen the finished Star Wars Blueprints video yet, come back if it ever gets through processing. Anyway, I want you to thank you for watching, and now you know a little bit more about the Imperial Troop Transporter. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.
You've got to tell me more about this unreleased droid that was going to come with the Troop Transporter.